All right, guys, welcome back. This is ESL 1 Katowice 2018, powered by Intel. This is game number 2 of Infamous versus Mad Kings as they battle their way towards that qualifier spot here in the closed qualifiers for South America. First game of the series went over to the side of Infamous with a particularly scary CK who just disregarded everything, didn't even need to worry about those BKBs, just ran at people and beat them to death. So I'm pretty sure Mad Kings will be taking that into consideration with their next draft here. But we do see some pretty standard bans coming out. As always, I'm your caster Moxie. I'm joined with Forge, and we're ready to bring you game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, that game number 1 was just, super exciting. We had a CK who was running around completely unstoppable, and like the Tinker even had like kind of a rougher start. He was getting ganked a lot, and then CK came online, and Tinker's like, all right, I'm gonna go farm for forever. And then by the end of it, they were just mowing down everybody. So really curious to see what Mad Kings does, but Infamous not really changing too much. They ban out the bounty hunter like they did last game, but Clockwork not going to be played, and Mad Kings, I mean, adjusting their draft as well, getting rid of the Schofield Elder Titan who did a lot of work last game.
Yeah, definitely. Elder Titan seems to be the hero of the day coming out from both of these teams. We saw it earlier with SG playing it, and Theolacor just running away with the game early on with his Elder Titan. But definitely, getting a respect band here on the side for Infamous. This is actually, they just played each other a couple days ago, I think. It was Mad Kings versus Infamous for the GESC Jakarta. And while Infamous went forward, Mad Kings did not, but be really interested to see if, maybe they can steal a game off of Infamous.
Yeah, I mean, Infamous, I think other than like SG is probably one of the big powerhouses for the region. It's like Infamous, Pain, SG, and I would say Sacred is up there as well. So I really, really look forward to see what kind of adjustments Mad Kings can make, because I know they have the skill to be able to take those games off of them and even take the series, but it's a question of whether or not they're going to be able to do it, because Infamous is looking very much so on form.
Well, I mean, the El Clasico is always, SG versus Infamous. We saw that actually happening for ESL 1 Genting for that minor. And they're definitely one of the behemoth teams that you have to be very aware of, and they have very good success rates. So we'll see. Again, Mad Kings, I think they were doing well earlier on, and maybe they can steal a game off. But we see the classic Bane pickup here on the side of Infamous. Now, last time we saw the Bane picked up, we figured, oh, he's going to go over mid, he's going to be really annoying and harassing, and they actually sent the Elder Titan, so I'm not sure exactly where we're going to see this Bane, if he will be babysitting the mid, or if he's just going to hang out in his own lane with a core to babysit.
I think last game was more the exception rather than it was the rule. The Elder Titan, you throw him bot lane against the Puck, Puck gets a lot more out of that lane. We saw a couple of kills from the Bane where Puck would throw out the illusory orb, and the Nightmare would immediately come out. There would be no jaunt to the orb, and then the CK would follow up and get the kill. So now, Bane doesn't really have to worry about that super mobile core yet. If something like the Puck maybe does come out again from Mad Kings, maybe Bane does stay in that safe lane. But I think it's much more likely that without that super mobile, hard to gank core, Bane will just take his usual spot in the mid, being annoying.
Yeah, that was a really nice play coming out from the team last time, being able to wait for Puck to throw out the illusory orb, and then at the last second, before he can jaunt away, just grabbing him in that Nightmare and creating problems so that way the CK could start racking up the kills. I do like the Shadow Shaman pickup here for the side of Mad Kings. That's 3 technically if you count the Tiny having the Avalanche, but 3 nice lockdowns. And we do get an Undying. This is a hero that I have not seen a whole heck of a lot of, and I'm pretty excited to see how early this aggression is going to be coming out from the side of Infamous.
Yeah, Undying is one of those heroes that, a lot of teams debate over his merits, and it feels generally kind of weak in the patch. But if you have a hero like Tiny, who A, is a melee hero, and B, doesn't really have the best attack speed to deal with the Tombstone later on, as well as just being a strength hero. So Undying going to sap a lot of that strength, make the normally very tanky Tiny seem a lot squishier. I really think that situationally Undying can be very strong. And the sustain is really nice too. If somebody's getting gone on in the area by the Tiny and the Undying is nearby, you can get a clutch soul rip, maybe keep them alive for a little bit longer than the Tiny was expecting, or just save them outright and turn the tide of what it could be an otherwise disastrous fight.
Yeah, definitely will provide a lot of sustain being able to use that soul rip as well. And I'll get decay stacks are very, very annoying, and they help beef him up quite a bit. So see where he's going.
It's also good against the.
Aggressive he gets.
I mean, Undying is really good against heroes who have really high damage and really bad attack speed. So like Shaman is the same way, right? You have two heroes already from Mad Kings who, they have super high damage, but a Tombstone doesn't care about that. Tombstone cares about how many times you hit it. So I think with some good positioning, Undying could be very, very detrimental. And now you have a Bane as well, who's going to get the Fiend's Grip off, can get the Nightmare, cause a lot of problems.
There'll be a lot of chaos in a lot of these fights with the Tombstone being laid down, and you have to focus out the Bane if he gets the Fiend's Grip off. So bit of a chaotic draft, and I like it coming out from Infamous here. Mad Kings now looks like, I guess they'd probably want to pick up maybe their 4 here. Clockwork and Bounty Hunter already banned out, as is the Night Stalker and the Elder Titan Tusk. So it's a lot of 4s that have been removed from the game right now.
You could still grab something like the Ricky. It's not super popular in the meta right now, but if you already are favoring something like the Bounty Hunter, Ricky gets a lot of the similar work done. You don't get the benefit from the track gold, but you can place much deeper wards more aggressively, but they're going to go for the Kunkka instead. So really easy setup level 1. You just Shackles into Torrent, either Avalanche or Toss to follow up, and pretty much anybody's going to be dead. And the Run buff is going to help counter out a lot of what the Undying and the Bane can do as well. So I really like the Kunkka pickup from Mad Kings.
I feel like X is such a fantastic spell as well. It's kind of like a controllable glimpse like the Disruptor has, being able to, just grabbing them out the corner of your eye, returning them right back from where they came and forcing them to fight and punishing any sort of very bad positioning. So I like this again. Also, the Run buff, like you said, gonna make it so that they're a little bit more survivable. And the follow-up with, the Shadow Shaman or the Torrent, whichever one comes first, will be able to allow the other support to get over there fast enough and put out some more damage.
And while it's not likely, we do have to keep in mind, Moxie, there is potential that Kunkka is going to go mid lane.
Oh my god. All right. So when Jack tells you it's not good, please listen to Jack, okay? KBBK told
Trent
you no.
Told me.
No. Trent had the lowest points on that panel.
I mean,
I love Trent. Don't get me wrong. Trent is fantastic, but please, Trent, stop encouraging Forge to go mid with the Kunkka.
I'm just saying it's possible. I'm not saying it's likely. I do think that support Kunkka is much more viable. Like you said, you get the super early levels of X. You can catch somebody like the Enchantress a lot easier. The big worry I feel like with the Shadow Shaman and this Kunkka now against the Enchantress is they don't have great ways to kill the creeps early on. And again, it's another hero that's going to benefit greatly from the fact that both Tiny, Shadow Shaman, and Kunkka less so, but all of these heroes have really high damage, but really, really bad attack speed.
Yeah.
And Enchantress is going to abuse that. So too is the Undying. I really like this Infamous draft so far.
Yeah, that Untouchable is going to be a big problem for them. They need some more sort of nuke to deal with the Enchantress, but again, seems to be the name of the game, just trying to abuse the fact that they don't have the fastest attack speed, with the Undying having the Tombstone. You've got the Enchantress who's got the Untouchable. Honestly, if they hadn't picked up the Bane, I would have said just grab a Phoenix while you're at it, right? Make them hit everything during a fight and slow them down even more.
Yeah, Phoenix Undying is pretty disgusting on top of everything, because if Phoenix ever grabs an Ags, you can just do double Tombstone in a fight, and all of a sudden you're just getting mown down. The one thing that I do have to be worried about for this Enchantress, though, is he can very easily adjust his skill build and go, instead of the max tree grab, he can go for the max Avalanche Toss combo and very quickly burst down the squishy Enchantress. She's very vulnerable to that magic burst. And
now he's just going to eat her creeps.
Now Doom's just going to eat her creeps. is still going to be very, very slow. Infernal Blade is going to take a very long time to wind up, but if they do have the control from the Shadow Shaman and the Kunkka, Doom is going to be doing a lot of damage to that Enchantress, running her down very well.
So they still need something for mid here on the side of Mad Kings. Same thing goes also for Infamous. They still trying to figure this out. Looks like their last they're gonna go for a Drow strat. Okay, Infamous loves their Drow strats. I think we saw this happen how many times during Genting?
I think every
like 3 games,
game
right?
except for the one they played, like every single game it was either banned or they picked it. Like they just ran it all the time. And the one time it got banned out, I think they ran like a Shadow Shaman. Like they just ran this super aggro push anyway. So I really like what Infamous is shaping up for, because Tiny, he's going to get kited around a lot. There's a lot of ranged heroes already. We've got the Nightmare and the Medusa.
Oh my god. And a Meepo!
But a Meepo.
We got a Mappo! Alright.
Okay.
Alright. I'm pretty excited to see this. I'm still kind of concerned for this Meepo because that's a lot of damage coming out from these power ladies over here. We got Destiny's Child over here. We got the 3 ranged ladies that are going to be hitting mighty hard. So it's a little scary.
So who's Beyonce in this analogy?
I would say that the biggest diva is probably Medusa. I think she would be Beyonce.
Okay.
I like how you don't even ask about the rest of them. Jeez.
It's the only name.
Stay together.
It's the only name I remember. I'm just kind of sad and embarrassed that I even remembered that she was part of Destiny's Child.
Nothing wrong with that. Destiny's Child was good, dude.
Yeah,
we got the 3 divas here that are gonna be hitting pretty hard, and that's gonna be really scary for these melee heroes over here. All right.
Yeah, it's 4 melee against 4 range, so.
And I mean, Bane's gonna be hanging out in the mid lane trying to mess with Meepo as much as possible.
Oh, absolutely. Like Meepo is gonna have a very tough time, and the one interaction I'm not 100% sure about, but if I'm right, could be devastating too, is that if I remember correctly, Decay steals from every Meepo that it gets hit with. I'll have to see once the once the Meepo levels up. But if that's the case, like Schofield is going to be getting absolutely massive amounts of stacks.
The traditional pre-game pause here as everybody makes sure that their connection is working and nobody's computer is going to just shut down. It's always fun. I like how it shows Benjaz as the courier here. What? Seems good.
Oh yeah, because he's
loading in. Yeah, he's loading in. So it's just all right. Benjaz is going to be playing this game as the courier, guys.
What kind of courier do we have, Moxie? Is the courier game on point for both of these teams?
We have actual couriers this time around. We've got the mighty Ram over here on the side of the Mad Kings, and over on the side of the Radiant.
Oh,
we've got your favorite courier, the one that you like. What is it?
Infamous
the Okami one?
Yeah, this is Amaterasu. This is my favorite courier. Love the game. Love the fact that we now have an Okami courier. And yeah, Infamous wins this one. 100%.
Just based on the courier game alone. I mean, the hat game's pretty solid too. Did you see these guys?
Oh yeah, Bane's rocking out. Look at Deuce's pose right now. She is like ready to go.
I told you she's the Yonsei.
Yeah,
she is the Yonsei here. One glamorous lady who don't need no man.
And Drow is like, all right, this Beyonce is too dramatic for me. I'm getting out of this band. I'm leaving.
I mean, she does seem like she'd be quite the diva, right?
Oh, absolutely. Look at Bane. God, what a disgusting hero.
Yeah, he's pretty gross. Especially like he's got eyeballs on his arms and things.
Sladine is crying. Yeah. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. If that's about the pause or Benjamin.
Oh my.
That's some official stuff. That's some flame. That's some targeted flame coming out on Benjaz.
That is like when your mom catches you doing something you're not supposed to and uses your full name.
Oh
my.
This is getting real.
Some serious stuff here. They're doxing each other online now. Man, I'm excited to see Atan on this Meepo, though. I think I've cast a Meepo game in quite a while, so it's going to be a treat.
Go, Karen. Oh, how do I get out of... Okay, there we go.
Who's Karen?
I have no idea, but whoever it is, they're getting called out by Benjaz.
Apparently.
And
Can Karen be a
Kunkka.
boy's name? I don't think it's anyone here, obviously, but another pause coming out.
I don't know. That's a cultural difference that maybe.
No,
we
I don't
know.
think it's
Maybe
culture. I think there's just some names that are unisex, but you don't hear them very often. Like, for example, Sunsfan's name is Shannon.
True fact.
Indeed.
There's an amateur caster out there named Cody, and Cody is also a unisex name.
See, I
though
think of
usually
Cody
when-
being a boy's name, though. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know.
is for the most part, but it is
Occasionally
also
get a
applicable
Lady
to
Cody.
females. Yeah, you'll occasionally get those.
Right. I hear a taunt going on here. Mr. Undying Schofield dancing his way to victory. Knows he's got the divas on his team. Man, this is perfect.
I mean, the thing about Undying Taunt is like it's one of those cosmetics that can actually change things because it messes
too
up. Like
tilting?
he spin. Well, no, it because you spin around, right? So normally you can kind of predict where people are going to go, but if you're taunting while you're juking through trees, it really, really messes up people. I know Lanham used to abuse that a lot back back when he was on like C-Deck, I think it was. Or eHome, one of those, and he used to just run around in circles while taunting, and nobody would be able to predict where he was going because he would just like you're spinning around
That's
as
true.
part of the taunt.
Got some
It
Meepo
was,
action going on over here. Where's the Kunkka taunt? I mean, I want to see that
Where's Step
little jig
Lively?
he does.
Step Lively now.
Step lively, even though
doesn't
he's a
look
ghost Kunkka. Thinking.
Well, that's the joke, Moxie.
Well, Kunkka's not always a dead captain.
But he's stepping lively, dead or alive.
All right. Schofield gonna go for the block here over in mid. Set Deuce up for a nice advantage. No one blocking, unfortunately, for Auton over in mid.
Yeah, and it looks like we're gonna get an aggro try in the bottom lane. Kunkka, Benjaz, and KZE setting down in this setting up. But they're gonna dodge this. Pepita's gonna head to the top lane instead.
Sounds like a good idea. They want to make sure that Drow can get online fairly quickly here. Ton's coming out here just trying to be obnoxious and drive Auton crazy, I'm sure. Do have the decay as well. Smeebo's got to be really careful. Oof. Down to 540 health already.
Oh, they are getting gone on from the Enchantress, though.
Yeah, looks like they'll get the Torrent off and they'll have the burst damage to take down the Enchantress.
Yeah, she doesn't grab any levels of untouchable. She grabs the Nature's Attendance level 1, so no attack speed slow. They just get to pound away at her.
Phrasing.
And dying. Just Schofield is having a great time. 16 decay stacks on him in the mid lane.
Yeah, that's
Just from Meepo.
pretty scary for this poor Meepo here. Other lanes checking in. Looks like Bane just trying to harass the Doom as much as possible. Drow has a bit of space here. Pepita just happily hitting these creeps. And Enchantress is smoked up? What was that?
Was she smoked?
I don't know. It looked like it. Maybe it was a bug on my screen.
Yeah, that might have been a visual bug.
Because there's no reason for
she's
her
gonna
to
have to
smoke
be-
back to lane here.
Oh, they get the
Jump
Torrent.
again, followed up with the shackles. This is not going well here for this Enchantress, and she'll get taken down once again. She just needs that level 2 so she can get a point in Untouchable, and that'll make a big difference for her, but she had to go for the healing sprites first.
Yeah, I don't know if she can even really afford to go bottom anymore. I think she just has to try and jungle somehow, but the problem is that
You can't
She
leave that
has-
lane unattended because that's going to allow these two supports to roam over onto mid.
yeah,
And that's going to put a
not
lot
only
of pressure
that-
on Dusa.
Yeah, not only that, she doesn't have the skill point. Like that's not
Gotcha.
enchant. She can't do it. But they are gonna make their way to mid with these two supports. Make some space for Atun.
Atun's actually got some meat on his bones here for a change instead of Schofield taking away literally all of his strength here. We'll be able to grab strength from two different heroes now, so that's kind of scary here. KZE in a little bit of trouble. We'll be able to go ahead, grab this Undying. He's very, very tanky. Torrent will come through, but again, too tanky for him to deal with. And now, oh boy, KZE, he's got 77 hit points, is frantically trying to run himself out. Luckily, does have the boots, but also the Undying having it as well. He might just have to back off. They don't have enough mana to throw out
Undying's
that decay.
faster than him. Oh, that was 4 HP.
Enchantress now in a little bit of trouble. Has gotten the point of Untouchable, though. So we'll be able to stay in lane just a little bit easier. And she's already having to spam those sprites. There's just so much pressure being placed on her in this lane.
Yeah. KZ does get forced back to base, but I mean, Doom is leveling just fine top in comparison to the Drow. Or sorry, not to the Drow, to the Enchantress. Uh, and Tiny is free farming, but so too is the Medusa. So this laning phase, I think, overall, slightly favoring Infamous just a little bit, just because of the nature of their lineup. If they're drawing even in the laning phase, especially with the Medusa, I think they're having a good time. This Meepo is getting nothing out of his lane.
Yeah, I mean, he's been phased out pretty hard by the... Oh no, this is looking really scary right now for Old Stinger. They will miss the Torrent though, immediately popping the sprites. Knows that they're trying to put some damage onto her and wants to get ahead of that right now. Does chase a little bit, gets a couple clicks off over onto the Shadow Shaman. And isn't getting much done though down here, sitting at level 3. Tiny sitting at level 3 as well. He's got 24 and 7 CS, which is pretty good. We do see a Meepo that's starting to roam around the map. He's probably going to try to do some jungling soonish or so. And Schofield again, they get the net off. There'll be the Pof coming forward. But this guy is just so tanky. Doom makes the rotation here, and they'll get the X mark spot over onto the Deuce. This could be really, really good for him. They'll get the triple decay, and they tried to save her using that little bit of Soul Rip, but unfortunately not going to be enough to save their Diva here on the side of Infamous.
I mean, Undying, he's very tanky, but if they're not calling on him, if they're just ignoring him and going for the Medusa, the Soul Rip isn't leveled up enough. I almost expect him to max that. He's got a 1-1 run right now, but I almost would like to see him just max that and just prioritize saving the Medusa if he can.
And it looks like now that he's got a couple levels, Meepo's just going to go head off to the jungle. I think he's had enough of that lane.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say a couple of patches ago this would be great, but actually hold that down bottom. We got action, Moxie.
Oh boy, bottom lane, we lose Old Stinger yet again. I think that's the third death he's had in this lane. While this is all going down, we also lose the Meepos. We have a little bit of a gank going on between Excelgod and Schofield.
And this is kind of one of the things about Meepo. Like a few patches ago.
Papita's getting run down here as well. Yeah. The Infernal Blade doing a lot of damage. He's just burning down slowly. Tries to juke himself around into the trees. Goes ahead, he pops that stick, but not going to be quite enough here. Excelgod making his way through. They don't have the vision over here onto this Doom. He will find him at the last second, throw out the Nightmare, get a couple clicks off over onto him. And does have the Brain Sap if he needs to. Just going to try to give him the clicks. No one's teleporting, though, to try to help get this kill. Might be able to get it. There we go. There's the TP coming out from Papita. Ice Arrow coming out. Frost Arrow, rather, and they'll take him down.
Nice return kill from the Drow. This early on in the game, she respawns pretty quickly. Just quickly turns around and gets that kill. But, I mean, Atun is just getting absolutely nothing right now. Dusa is level 6, almost... closing in on level 7. She's putting pressure in on this tower. He's starting to hit level 5, but he's got double Wraith Band. I'm really worried about how much an impact this Meepo's going to have.
Yeah, he seems to be struggling quite a bit. There's going to be a rotation coming out again over onto the Dusa. They've got the Bane standing nearby as well, and they'll actually turn their attention from the Dusa, try to get a kill over onto this Bane. Meepo coming forward, will be able to get it. Oh, one more hit would have taken down KZE, but he's going to be able to walk his way out of this. Schofield. I mean, oh no, KZE should have gone home. He's gonna probably get taken down here by Schofield. Now he'll be able to hit the shrine. Turret coming up here, and they'll try to put some damage over onto the Undying. They'll get the shackles off. Kunkka doesn't have a lot of damage, but you know who does? Tiny. Tiny's got the damage, and he's gonna get a kill on that Undying.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting a lot of kills in this early game, which is definitely what they need. I'm just a little bit worried about how well this Medusa and this Drow are still farming. They're getting kills on like the Undying and...
Uh-oh, Papita in a lot of trouble here. Will get pincered. There's going to be the Kunkka. Comes through with the Torrent, just burning them down, trying to save Drow for a little bit. Will be able to throw out the Nightmare. He was trying to get the Denial, but he's not going to be able to quite do that. And looks like SNK going to be able to walk himself out. Excelgod trying to just put as much damage as he can. There is the Undying coming up, turning around. Excelgod, he will get taken down with that last little bit of damage. Tombstone gets dropped, but doesn't do a whole heck of a lot.
Oh my god, that Mystic Snake in the lane. That was crazy. Atun's like almost dead from one Mystic Snake.
They get the kill in the bot lane too. There's like a kill going on in every single lane right now. My goodness. Top lane too. They're still going in on this. They've got their eyes over onto the Kunkka. The X marks the spot that will buy him a little bit more time. He'll be able to literally step lively here. Get himself out. And their bounty run's going to get stolen, though, by SNK.
And I mean, like, if you look at the kill score, it looks really bad for Infamous, but Drow's level 7 now. She's got the maxed out precision aura, and she's starting to do what Drow does and just push towers. They're getting a lot of kills, but Medusa's sitting top of net worth, Drow not far behind, and Meepo very far behind.
He needs a flash farmer, though. That's one of those things that he can catch up pretty quickly if he needs to. Would like to see maybe some stacks coming out for him, though.
I mean, he is a flash farmer, and he can recover, but it's not the same as it was a couple of patches ago, right? A few patches ago, Meepo goes to the jungle, he's got some stacks, and he just goes from level 3 to level 10 within a few minutes. Now, lane creeps give a lot more gold, a lot more experience, and the neutrals give a lot less than they used to, so it's not quite the same as it was for a Meepo a few patches ago.
Kunkka's over here. He's got the Xbox spot over onto the Drow. Doesn't want to let her be able to get this kill over onto Doom. They will go ahead, use the Doom over onto the Bane. And there's the follow-up coming out from Tiny here. SNK, he's going to get taken down by Drow. And there's going to be a nice 3-man decay coming out from the Undying. But we'll turn back around. Can they get the denial off? They will be able to deny over onto this poor Bane. And the throw toss will be able to take out Pepita here. Meepo just goes back to his farming. Undying just bailing after that fight. And tower goes down over in mid.
Yeah, they're having to commit. They're having to commit so many resources for these kills that Enchantress is now. She had a rough couple minutes. Now she's almost got her drums online. Deuce has got the full Mask of Madness. There's just so much space being created around this map.
Well, I mean, when is the moment when they decide to kind of group together and start pushing here? Because usually when we see Drow strats, they want to do them fairly early. But with the Deuce, it gives you a little bit of an insurance policy, right?
Yeah, you can definitely still scale later. I don't necessarily think they want to do that. I think right now they're just waiting on the core items. Enchantress, she's got her drums coming out on the courier. Drow is waiting for her Mask of Madness, and then they'll group up as far.
X and the boat and the torrent coming in hot over here onto this Drow. She's going to take quite a bit of damage with the Fiend Scripts over onto the Tiny. They might be able to turn this around. Benjaz will throw her up into the air, and she's still alive, but she's sitting very, very low. Nice soul rip coming out from Schofield will actually force the Kunkka to TP himself home. And looks like Infamous going to be able to take this tower top. So that's all the tier 1 towers taken down now by the Drow strat. They know exactly what they're doing, and they're making good time on it.
Yeah, and they're going to put a little bit of pressure on this tier 2. I don't expect them to fully commit for the tier 2, but they'll pressure a little bit, and then they'll most likely back up, complete the Roshan, and that's when we'll see the full, like, 5-man assemble.
There's the taunt coming out from Kunkka. Before it comes out as well, Meepo just trying to make sure that he can do something right now, try and get farming. He's working on that Blink Dagger. He's getting closer and closer to it, but top tower just going to get taken down.
Wow, I didn't expect them to be able to get that, but they just don't have the response yet. Tiny's still working on his Shadow Blade. Meepo's still working on his Blink, and they don't have anybody to just jump in and start a fight.
They don't have Doom up and running either. That's the other problem.
They're actually just going to run. They're pushing around this catapult wave very nicely. That's seems to be what their timing is we have a catapult wave. Let's use it while we have it, and then back up and go for the rush.
Another X gets thrown out. They'll immediately jump over onto Doom. Oh, man, Doom. That was a bit of a risky TP here. Will get taken down, actually, by the Bane. And, you know, power of 4 ranged heroes hitting towers with the Drow. It's very strong.
Yeah, and most likely now they just move into the Roche Pit. Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do.
There's not much that they can do about it on the side of the Dire.
They did drop Tombstone, so maybe a little bit worrisome, but I mean, Tiny isn't ready, and Meeple's not ready. Meeple's got Blink Dagger, but he's only level 10. Dusa also level 10. Drow only a couple levels behind, but the net worth advantage is really where things change, right? 6,700 on the Dusa to the 5,000 with Meeple. Just so much farm.
A little bit of a dip in the experience earned game, but they do find themselves a Kunkka over here, and they'll be chasing after him. Not sure if they're going to actually catch him, though. Yeah, it looks like they're going to back off, maybe go hunting, find themselves a Meepo in the bot lane, although Meepo will be able to just poof himself out if need be.
The line's already getting drawn by both Drow and the Undying. They're just going to push in bottom. They're just going to swing through, take this bottom T2. Maybe if they can, if they get a good fight, they'll go to the T3 and just end the game.
That efficiency, though.
That efficiency. The worst thing they do is that they wait for the next catapult wave and push with that at the 15-minute mark. That's 2 minutes away, gives them a little bit of time to farm. They might not even do that. Does seem they want to wait though. Pushing with the Catapult Wave, just it makes sieging a lot easier. You just get that bonus extra damage, and with the Drought Aura, you get just huge amounts of damage out of the siege creeps because they get affected by it.
I mean, if they can find themselves an Alpha Wolf too for Stinger here, that could be really nice. Or the Wild Wing Toughness Aura for the push. But they're all making their way now. And similarly, we're seeing a push for this top tower. They do have Serpent Wards. I don't think they want to go and drop these at a tier 1, possibly the tier 2, or maybe just hold on to it because there is going to be a fight down here. I'm pretty sure as they take this tower.
I think they want to hold on to it. Like, they're going to trade T1 for the T2 because they don't want to fight into it. And then they'll hold on to the Serpent Wards for some high ground defense. These towers are just
melting, yeah.
Faster, they still haven't gotten that T1, and they started first. And yeah, calls are already getting made. Things are coming out.
Oh, Doom actually is going to go and use this rune, try to get some intel on where everyone is for these lines. They pop the drums, though, over here, and they're just breaking into high ground.
Yeah, and they have Tombstone ready to go, so as soon as anybody gets jumped on, they just drop the Tombstone. They have the Soul Rip ready to go.
Drow just hanging really far back here. Waiting for someone to come forward, and it's just going to be Tiny. Tiny's going to go ahead. They get the Doom off over onto the Enchantress, going to force her back a little bit, but they do have the Fiend Script now over onto Tiny, and Drow just plugging away at him. This Stone Gaze doing so much work too. Everyone was looking over at the Medusa, and they will be able to get a double kill over onto Papita.
And they find Atun off on the side as well. Do they have any more lockdown? They have a Silence ready to go.
I think, yeah, they're going to be able to take down this Meepo. No way he gets out. And the GG actually gets called. Looks like Mad Kings have had enough, and Infamous proving again why they are one of the giants here in SA Dota.
Yeah, I mean, it was Drow strat, right? They had to spend so much time and so much resources killing any one person that in the other two lanes they were getting their towers pushed in, they were getting a massive amount of farm, and just really, really well executed efficiency coming out from Infamous.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, Mad King's journey ends here. GG well played out to them, and congratulations to Infamous. They will be proceeding forward into the SA closed qualifiers for ESL Katowice 2018. So we've got more SA Dota for you tomorrow, but that's going to conclude it for today. I believe tomorrow we've got a game beginning at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and then one at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure what the matchups are just yet here. I think the SG game is in the morning, and then Infamous will be in the afternoon. But thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a pleasure to cast these games for you today. As always, I am at MoxieCass, and this has been at Forge Dota, co-casting with me. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. GG.